Yeah, it's got a red light on it. That means it's not recording.
Well, that means it is.
It's a revelation. What do you get when you cross an elephant with a rhino? Elephino.
Are you excited?
Am I excited to see him in his dress?
Yes.
I'm very excited. Mark, hurry up. The fans are waiting. By fans, I mean Brett. I'm hungry for your sex.
Oh my god.
Oh, I am fucking ready. Let's see it. Oh my god. Oh my god, that is fucking hot. Oh my god.
I'm walking on the back.
Ladies and gentlemen, no. I have to. Will you marry me?
No, sir. I'm taking
I will suck your dick every night. Every night.
Okay. Brett,
Not every
Are we
night.
ready for
Just like-
back off
just-
my Kool-Aid.
Just birthdays and holidays. It's
Damn, baby, look
Oh.
at them knees.
Look at that. You can see his balls hanging.
What'd you say about my ball?
I can see them. Look at that. See that? And then I flick it.
Oh, shit. My bad, dude.
I,
I feel pretty.
you are beautiful.
Thanks, man.
Oh my god.
I really needed to hear
I
that.
am in shock. I am in awe of your beauty.
Thanks, man. I really needed to hear that today.
It's
Like-
lovely.
It really means a lot.
No, this means a lot to me.
I just got a text message from you.
Yeah. It's a picture of Walter dreaming
You
of
need
garlic
to learn
bread.
how to sit.
Yeah, you
This
have to
is a
cross your
pre-show
fucking
over
legs,
here.
man.
My bad. My bad, everyone.
You are a slut.
Look into my eyes and say, why don't you come like a good boy? Spit in your hand and make me come like a good boy. You freaked out when I found a tip.
Mark's trying to get laid at prom.
I like it. I like it. The picture of garlic bread. I'll show that at some point, I'm sure.
Oh, it'll be on the Instagram.
Glad my cigarette's still here. Hello.
Oh,
Eh.
oh, this is one hell of an introduction.
And welcome to Western Jesus, episode number 4. I am a pretty lady, and this is my co-host
Yes, a future husband,
and future husband, apparently.
and midwife.
Oh, honestly, I have no idea what to expect out of this episode.
Oh
I'm
man,
Kind of just gonna
this
go with
is this is fun. I think you're more nervous than when I was naked.
it. A little bit.
His
yeah.
nipples are hard.
You can't tell because of the padding here, which helps
No,
me
that's
a
not
lot.
padding.
Trust me, this is helping.
He stuffs his bra,
Yeah.
but not his gym shorts. It's hanging pretty low. Cross your legs, man. I'm gonna look.
I can't cross it.
You
like,
look.
It
You
hurts.
looked at mine, man. You looked at mine.
That's true. Can you do me a favor? Can you actually turn the camera towards Brett just slightly, because we're off center here. All right. Where to start, sir? We don't have a theme for this episode.
I don't
we don't
know.
have anything.
I mean, we could talk about Game of Thrones. We could talk about
we could talk about Game of
how
Thrones.
swollen my testicles are right now.
Do you want to talk about that?
I'm just gonna make jokes like this the whole episode.
I believe it. Just remember, I was a complete and total gentleman with you.
Okay. I'm sorry. I guess I'm just an asshole. Oh my god, you're so sexy.
I'm gonna feel very uncomfortable this whole episode.
I'm crossing my legs so you don't feel, for solidarity.
I gotcha.
We're in this together, Mark. Till death do us part.
I suppose we could talk about Last Man on Earth as well while we're at it. Not too many people, not that I see anyway, talk about
If
that
people
show.
aren't watching that show,
They need to be.
they can fuck off and go to hell.
Or they can just watch the show.
Yes, watch the show before you fuck off and go to hell.
That's true.
It's a fantastic show. I thought it was just going to be straight up comedy.
No, it's really
there's
good.
so much drama.
There's a lot of heart to it, too, and a lot more that's coming out over time.
I'm pretty sure Will Forte is some kind of comedic genius.
Oh, he is. He was on Saturday Night Live a bit. I mean, I'm sure he has some sort of reason why he got
McGruber, that was hilarious.
I only remember Jesus.
I am so sorry.
Oh.
Dude, did you know he was like one of the main writers for That 70s Show?
Was he?
Yeah, and like a lot of the earlier seasons. No, later seasons, I believe.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
They were both.
I think he was also executive producer.
You know, you think I would have noticed that over
It was probably when the show was actually funny.
Yeah. The show was pretty funny. Near the all shows kind of like lose their spark near there. You know, they're at the end.
It's because Topher Grace is a bitch.
He left, yeah. And got that Myers character sometime.
Too big for his britches. They cast him in Spider-Man 3.
That's what. Yep, he got a big head, and he thought winning a date with Tad Hamilton was, his big.
We all wanted to win that date with Tad Hamilton.
I
you win the lottery, you get a big ego.
I entered the contest. I entered Tad Hamilton. I didn't. He entered me in this dress.
Every presidential election, I just write Tad Hamilton in.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought I was the only one.
Oh, so that's why there's 2 votes for Tad Hamilton every year.
Yeah. There you go. You know now.
All right, so...
But Last Man on Earth is a fantastic show, and I recommend it. So does Brett.
Oh my God, that show is awesome.
Like,
Jason Sudeikis as his brother, the astronaut. Like, everyone's... Last man on Earth, man. He's the last man in space. He thinks everyone's dead. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
The only companions he had were worms.
Dude, when he thought all the worms were dead and was going to
yeah.
eject himself out into space.
And then he found one and he named it after his brother.
Oh my God.
Yep. Spoiler alert.
That show, when he did, that shit had me on the edge of my seat. I actually think I stood up. I was like, oh my God, he's dying.
No.
Not for real. I don't watch TV like that. I'm a normal person.
He does. Don't let him lie to you. Yeah. I love that show more and more with every episode, though.
Yeah. Now what? That was the season finale, wasn't it? When Bobby was pulling up with those guys.
I'm assuming.
Well,
I've thought
I don't know what his name is in the show.
I've thought that twice though this season that they were done for the season, and then just all of a sudden a new episode.
There's 4
pops
more
up.
episodes. Yeah.
Yep. So, for all I know, I mean it is.
It's a cliffhanger.
It's only a 30-minute show, right?
Yes.
So I mean, 30-minute shows on network television usually goes like 20-some episodes usually.
Yeah.
So maybe
but
it's one of those shows.
It's an FX show.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, those usually go like.
I thought it was on
13.
Fox because when I watch it on Hulu, it says Fox 8 in the corner. Like they get it from the.
Oh, maybe
like
it is
Hulu
Fox.
gets
maybe
it
I'm just a fucking idiot.
from all the local.
I think it is
stations
Fox.
and shit. Yeah, because it says Fox 8 in the corner. I notice it every time, and I'm like, huh. I guess they get their content from local providers and shit. So because it says Fox 8 in the corner, which is ours. You know what I mean? Unless there's another Fox 8 somewhere.
Or maybe you're just seeing the 8 and it's not there.
Maybe it's all in my head. You're absolutely right. Maybe
it was all a dream.
All of this is just made for me. Like the whole world does literally revolve around me. It's like the Truman Show. You ever think that?
That the world revolves around you? I know it does.
Revolves around me?
Yeah.
See, right now, you would be breaking that wall down for me, so like people would be rushing in and like taking in, which would only be proving to me that what you just confirmed is true. Like,
oh, it is. I'm telling you, man. I hear people talk about other marks all the time. Not other marks, you. I hear people say mark this and mark that.
Really? See, I wonder that sometimes.
Mark hit me with a wiffle ball bat.
Like I wonder
Mark
if
has a warrant for hitting me with a wiffle ball bat.
And like all the crazy shit that happens to me throughout my life and shit is really just content to make the content more exciting. You know what I mean? Like Mark gets fired, or Mark's girlfriend breaks up with him, or Mark gets, magically wins the lottery or something.
Mark marries Brett. Well, no, that's
Can you imagine the ratings boost?
the wedding episode is always. It's all downhill from there, Mark.
Yeah.
We get married and
so.
we're gonna hate each other.
I guess
People are
we
gonna
should
stop watching the show.
we should ride it out for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I want to see other people.
Damn. Damn.
While I'm seeing you.
All right. I guess that works. I'll be seeing her. So.
Yeah.
Who isn't paying any attention to it?
Because she doesn't want to know about this.
No. I love you, Brett. Anyway, we recommend Last Man on Earth. We won't spoil too much for you,
Yes.
but
17 thumbs up.
Last Man on Earth, we believe it's on Fox, possibly FX. We don't know because we watch it on
Yeah,
other
Hulu.
providers.
It's also on Hulu.
It is on Hulu.
You get a subscription to a streaming fucking thing.
Yeah.
Cable is stupid.
It is, and they just try to fuck you in the end anyway. Moving on, I suppose. How about Game of Thrones? We're 4 episodes in. We got fucking.
I want Jon Snow
6
to
left.
ram his fucking sword up Ramsay's ass.
Me too.
After that,
He's got it coming for sure.
no, after that letter he sent them, man, like, I'm just wanting Jon Snow to do unspeakable things to Ramsay.
Like in a sexual way?
No, not in a sexual way.
Come on.
I'm
you
not
could.
always turned on by sex.
He is. He is.
Emily keeps looking for it.
For what? I don't understand. My crotch?
Your knee knockers.
He just keeps spreading his legs wider and wider.
Because he knows you're.
Because I'm a
looking
man and I'm not used to
subconsciously.
wearing a.
No,
fucking
I'm just waiting
dress.
for it to peek at
It's
me.
gonna wiggle its way out.
How do my breasts look?
Don't worry, Mark.
No one's gonna answer.
You didn't have to stuff your bra for this.
Honestly, I didn't. I think the pads inside of here are like folded in half, so they protrude out more. It actually helps with my situation.
Wait, an A cup?
Dude, that's like a.
I'm a B minus.
What's a negative letter? Is there anything? My strings are all hanging down. Why didn't anybody say anything? I'm making a mockery.
Your
of
hanger
myself.
strings are on the side too. Tuck them in.
Yeah, tuck them in, Mark.
See, I don't know these things. I gotta get used to this.
He's got to get used to being in a dress.
Yeah, this is
Because
probably
Mark,
gonna happen more
when we're
often,
married,
yeah.
we're gonna eat, sleep, and shit in a dress.
It's probably the best, easiest way. Honestly, it's better than.
To take a shit in a dress.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta hike it up. You know, you could probably just.
Oh no, I
go,
mean you're
as long
gonna
as you
have to
got good
sit
aim.
down with the dress still as it is.
Yeah.
Get fecal matter everywhere.
Anyway, Game of Thrones.
then
Let's get away from
Daenerys-
that subject as quick as possible.
Daenerys burning everything down. That was awesome. Then they used a fake.
house.
Yeah, then they're just gonna use fake body doubles for everybody now. Apparently, when they show them naked.
That wasn't a body double. She confirmed that was in fact her.
Was it?
Yeah.
It looked different than the original.
Everybody
the
thinks
first
it is,
season.
and I mean it makes sense to assume so because she's stated many times that
She
she
didn't
doesn't want
wanna
to do
do
it
it.
anymore, and they've said
Maybe it's because she
before that
wanted
it's
to
in her
surprise
contract.
the world.
Maybe, or maybe they're just like, look, here's fucking 50 more grand or something. You know what I mean?
Would that make her a whore? Getting naked for more money?
I think that would make her smart because that's probably what she was kind of asking for in the first place.
More money for nudity?
Yeah. Yeah. But, because I think the last time you saw Daenerys naked in an episode was when that guy killed his 2 leaders. The guy that's, can't remember his name, but the guy that's with her now. The guy she's banging. That's
Oh,
looking.
they showed her naked then? I thought, like,
When it was the original guy,
yeah.
because they switched actors for that dude. When he killed him and brought her the heads, she was in the bath. And she
Okay.
got out and she was naked. I think that was the last time you saw her naked, and she said she wasn't going to get naked again after that. This is all he said, she said, sort of shit.
Yeah, he said, she said.
But, you know, gossip bullshit, but...
You read it in the National Enquirer?
Yeah. No, I read it in, like... I can't. That joke would have fell flat anyway. But yes, I get excited, more and more excited every episode. I was hoping in episode 4, I believe, that they would show more of the Tower of Joy stuff, like the flashbacks of Bran.
Oh yeah.
Because I think they showed Bran a little bit in this episode.
I was more interested in what was going to happen with Jon Snow, honestly.
No, I'm glad they showed as much as that as they did. And I'm glad, like, my mom actually called me when she saw the episode, when she saw that, because, like, right off the rip, like, just a few minutes in, if not the very first thing you see is Sansa arriving at Castle Black and her and Jon Snow seeing each other for, like, first time in years. My mom called me and was like in tears on the phone, like, finally, some of them are back together. And I'm, at first, this is the first thing she says. At first, I'm just like, what are you talking about?
Oh, you hadn't seen the episode yet?
Well, no, I had, but, like, I didn't know what because it was the first thing she said to me. I had no idea what she was talking about at that point.
Oh,
And I was like,
she
Game
didn't
of
reference
Thrones.
the show first.
She's like, yeah. So, and honestly, it was kind of an emotional moment. I didn't cry or anything, but I mean, I was just like, oh, cool. You know, this is a cool scene. They were, like, shocked and shit.
Yeah, I honestly forgot about Sansa and riding with Brienne or whatever her name is.
Yeah, and what's his name? Podrick.
Yeah, Podrick.
He's actually quite a
Podrick
beast when he
is
needs
a fucking badass.
Yeah, I love Podrick. I love him. I'd let him up. Never mind. But yeah, I also loved how I forget his name, but the wildling leader guy who's got like the red hair and the red beard.
Yeah.
As soon as Brienne came through the door, he was like love struck. It seemed like he was just like, I've never seen a woman like that before. And then like as they're eating, he's like right across from her, just like eye fucking her. You know what I mean?
I never even picked up on it.
You didn't pick up on that? That's
No.
what I got from it. Maybe he's like threatened by her. He doesn't like her. Maybe I don't know.
He's untrusting.
But it seemed to me that he was just like blown back and was kind of like instantly like, I love her. Sort of like he was into her. Like he at least wanted to fuck her really bad for some reason.
Oh, of course, because
is
he's
what
a
I got from
wildling.
that. But
He
like
probably wanted to fuck the horses.
just
too.
the fact that she's like a large like
yeah, just
like hell of a woman. She's a beast too,
She's a
obviously.
brute.
Yeah, like that was probably a huge. You know what I mean? I don't know.
we got so much sex talk about Game of Thrones.
Dude, it's Game of Thrones. Like
Game of Thrones.
might have been
is
supposed to be
sex.
called Game of Bones. That's a
Is
terrible
that what?
joke.
Yeah, that's.
Terrible joke. It's a porn. If it sounds like a porn title, it's probably a terrible joke. What else happened recently? Because there's been a few episodes. There's at least been 2 episodes since we've talked about it last.
I thought we talked about it a little. We touched base a little bit last episode too.
Yeah, but that was only like episode 1 and 2.
I thought we did episode 3.
We might have. I don't know. I just don't try to. I guess I am trying to limit us, but let's not limit ourselves. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Yes. But
Really, not too much happened, honestly. Oh, Daenerys burning that place down, which you mentioned slightly earlier.
yes, that was awesome.
That was cool. Proving yet again that
fucking
she
time
is.
she does that shit so much. It's a power trip for her though.
She's only done that twice.
Yeah, I know, but every time she does it, she's just like, "Oh, they love me.
Yeah.
They're gonna follow me everywhere." She's almost as bad as her brother.
Well, I feel like those are all the people that didn't go with her in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Maybe some of them kind of
Well, I
drifted
don't know.
back.
I don't think
there
any
over
of those
time.
people even knew who the hell she was.
But didn't they hear about all that shit that happened? They had to have. That was pretty epic. A shit ton of people
Yeah.
followed her after that. Like,
That's true.
I just feel like if they weren't convinced the first time, why would that convince them the second time? But I guess it was like on a much grander scale at this point. Not only that, but she just killed every single one of their
cows,
leaders. Yeah, so. Which, did they deserve it? The calls? I mean, they were kind of just doing their
Yeah.
thing.
Well, I mean, they were gonna rape her.
Oh, yeah.
That's every man's excuse in that show.
I think that was just kind of a threat because she was
They're just
talking
like,
back.
yeah.
Though. Like, honestly, I think they kind of knew who she was and was just like, look, we need to, like, keep her here because she could probably be a huge advantage to us. Really, it's probably what they were probably thinking. At least that main guy was, I think, in the end. He was trying to be a little smart about it. I don't know, maybe I'm totally fucking around.
Until she tried to burn him down.
Yeah, and until she pissed him off because in that meeting she was really like, "Fuck you," or I could just like blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't remember all the details, but she was pretty much just like, "Fuck you guys. You guys,
I don't need you.
Exactly. I don't need you.
You ain't nobody.
But
You ain't my baby daddy.
they aren't. You're
You
right.
are.
Apparently.
You are her baby daddy.
Oh,
No, you were the father of her when she was a baby.
I am.
This
so
it doesn't
confused.
make sense.
I'm so confused.
Game of Thrones. I have nothing else to say about Game of Thrones. I think we touched on. I don't know.
Yeah, really. Like, I mean, I look forward to what's to come.
Oh no! When he killed Asha Ramsay, when he fucking stabbed her in the throat, I was not expecting that.
Oh yeah.
I did
liked
not
her
want that
too.
to happen.
No,
Yeah,
neither did
really
I. I liked her a lot. She was awesome.
She thought she had the drop.
She
on
was
him.
playing it well too. I thought she had him.
Yeah.
I thought he was just like, damn, I want to fuck her. She's a wildling bitch. Like he just seems like a pussy connoisseur kind of in a way. But
Well, when I can't remember at what point it was before like he obviously knew like
once he started talking about Theon, I was like, all right, he's got an agenda.
yeah. I think it was before he said Theon though. Like he's just like, oh, you're a talker.
Yeah.
And then he said Theon talks, and I was like, oh.
He's like, you're a much better talker than Theon Greyjoy is what he
Yeah.
said. And like she kind of was just like, Theon fucking Greyjoy, I know him. Like, why are you bringing him up right about now? Because she probably had no idea about Theon. Because she showed up after he left, I think. Right? Yeah, they caught Rickon and her well after Sansa and Theon escaped. So she probably has no idea that Theon was there and he did all that shit to Theon.
Oh, that's
If
true.
she even knows who the fuck
No, she
Ramsay
knows
even
who-
is.
Yeah, she doesn't know who he is.
Like she probably did once she got there. You know what I mean? And like she's smart enough to kind of figure it out. Hear people talking. Bolton just died and shit.
Mm-hmm.
His father just killed him. I'm sure maybe not. I don't know. But I'm saying that there are chances that she kind of knew who he was in the brief moments before being taken to him and all that shit going down.
Do you think she would have overheard them talking about him?
Perhaps. I mean, she's a wildling. She seems kind of like clever and sneaky.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's probably has
They
some
all
sort
are.
of skill in like recon or just hearing things or getting info in little ways. I don't know.
Man, I can't. It's been actually like this is the first time you've really seen her since last season. I think.
It has. Her and Rickon were gone.
The fourth season.
Because you didn't see Bran all last season. Because he was caught up. Every other storyline had to catch up to Bran. He was caught up to the books and shit. So they were just that whole last season, season 5 was them catching up to Bran. And then they caught up, and then the new season started. That's why you're seeing like a little bit of everybody now, because they're all kind of like right around the same time period. But
George R.R. Martin will finish those books eventually.
yep,
I wonder how much of the show is going to ruin the new books for the people who actually like the books more.
From what I've heard, and what I get from everything I've read, is that George R.R. Martin kind of gave them like a total layout of like this is what's going to happen,
Yeah.
and you need to like kind of like this is what you can't change. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking the basic elements of the story, like
Well,
when
I
it
think,
comes to
like-
origins of Jon Snow
Yeah.
and stuff like that, is probably going to be the same. I just think they're probably going to maybe other characters are going to be doing things that different characters or characters we know from the, you know what I mean? Like they give lines to other characters and stuff. Like they've completely cut out characters in storylines but still done those storylines. And those things have happened just with different characters involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the basic elements of the storytelling will still be there from what I'm reading. It's just, it's not going to be exactly like the book. Just like basically how it is now, the differences in the book, it's going to be just like that.
I think he also like said that I think part of it was so that if he does die before the books are finished, they can at least tell the story in the show.
Well, he has children too.
Oh,
There's
does he?
quite a few people that know the story. He has a basic outline and stuff too. Like they've insured it. You know what I mean? I'm sure he has it all figured because I'm sure he's well aware that he's not of the he's not the healthiest guy in the world, and he's getting old, and it's taking him so long.
Yeah, I've heard people bitch that all he does is really watch. He eats pizza and watch football all day.
Really?
Like during the fall.
Like, I remember Conan did a bit, too, where he pretended like he had feeds into his security cameras at his house and shit, and you were seeing him just, like, jump on trampolines and like, eat pizza in the pool, just floating around, and, like, just doing all kinds of shit. Like, oh, it kind of looks like he's working, and then it turns out he's just masturbating to porn or something. Like, I don't know. It was funny, though. Check it out. Team Coco or something, you know?
I love Team Coco.
If you can even listen to a man that looks this pretty right now. But yeah, that's what I've heard about George Martin and how it's going to continue on. Basically, it's not going to be too different than how it's always been. But I do feel like, because I've been told by a friend of mine that I haven't actually looked this up, maybe I should, that after this season there's only 16 more episodes. So the last season might actually be like...
Well, it'd be 2 more seasons then, because they do 8 episodes each season.
They do 10 episodes each season.
I thought they did 8.
No, 10.
Oh, okay.
So the last season will probably be an extended season. Or maybe they'll split it up into 2 seasons. It'll be like 16 episodes. But that's including the rest of this season and
yeah, because I think
16
there's only
episodes.
supposed to be 7 books.
Yeah, and
So it probably will just be 2 more seasons.
HBO wanted to do 10 seasons or more, which they wanted to do a season for every book. But I don't know how
Then
they would
should
actually...
have drug it out a little more.
Really?
Like a lot of the stuff that happened in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like they kind of pushed the story along.
Well, how many books are there supposed to be in the end?
7 in the end.
7.
7
All
or
right, so
8.
they'd still be doing 7 because this is
Yeah.
6, and they'd do another one because this is a new book, and then the next season will probably be a new book.
What would they do 10 seasons about then?
I think 10 season they would have just stretched it out.
Okay. So they probably would have included a lot more detail.
Because I think it was like season 3 or season 4. Might have even been 5. No, it was season 3 or 4. They actually put it actually went into part of another book. Down, girl. Go on. Keep going.
Animal abuse.
It was either... I'm sorry, PETA.
Who the fuck is Peter?
PETA? No, the guy from Hunger Games. What was I saying?
We were talking about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I know, but I forget what I was saying. Oh, in like season 3 or 4, part of that season, like the last part of that season, they were actually going into another book. So part of that one book was actually into another season. So it wasn't exactly like
that's where
season
they first
per
caught
book.
up was 4.
Yeah, so a part of it went in there because there was probably like a lot of stuff that really wasn't that important that I cut out. So they were like, fuck it, we'll just lead into this and that'll save us some time.
Well, I know books 4 and 5 were actually like one book that he split into 2 books. So he told the story by North and South.
Maybe that's how they did it then. Maybe that's why they did it.
But because they couldn't really tell the TV show story that way.
Because I believe George Martin wanted it to be 7 seasons, just like the books. And like I think maybe even D.B. Weiss and David Beinoff or whatever their names are, the showrunners.
Yeah.
I think even they wanted it to be like, because they probably wanted to do more things. This put them on the map. What a hell of a way to make it too, dude. Because now they're just throwing money at Game of Thrones. Dude.
I think one of my favorite things now is the opening sequence.
Oh yeah, I've always loved how it's always different too. Like not always different, but like they'll change it up for
that
different
music is
seasons
so
and different
recognizable
cities.
now.
Yeah, oh for sure. And I guess that's all like an actually 3D animated. All that shit actually works in a 3-dimensional animated world. They actually went through and did all the engineering and shit, so they could probably 3D print that and make it all happen. You know, how cool would that be?
To build that city?
Yeah, and like, because 3D printing, they print it out exactly the way it would need to be to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said, would you shrink yourself and live in it?
Maybe. If I had the possibility to do that pain-free and easily enough to come back and forth.
Coward. No,
I would go.
Like Ant-Man?
Yeah.
But without the suit?
Yeah, I don't want it to be like Willy Wonka where I'm getting ripped into tiny particles and then put back together. That can't be comfortable. And
I'm sure you
the
get
chances
used
of
to
me
it after
having
a while.
fucking arm coming out of my head and my dick
that's
coming
why
out of my shin, you know what I mean?
That's why you test it on people you don't care about.
Yeah,
Like we
it
do
would
with-
have to be
like we
fully
do with
functional
everything.
and like 10 years fleshed out and working. It would have to be like the iPhone now compared to the iPhone 20 years ago?
Has the iPhone been around for 20 years?
I don't know. What I'm saying is, like, when they were first developing the prototypes and shit of the very first, I guess I should say iPod.
Yeah, it's like having the original iPod. The iPod.
Compared to the
big
iPhone
one, the big one, the iPod
7
Video.
that's coming out next year or something, you know what I mean?
If it could happen.
I mean iPhone.
Yeah, iPhone.
But, yeah. I still have the 5.
The I stands for individual.
But Game of Thrones is good. I'm sure we'll get more into detail as the season goes on because things will start clicking for us. You know what I mean? Things that was like, I wonder why they did that or why they changed this guy or, you know what I mean? Like, sure, there'll be a lot of shit going down near the end of the season. And we'll have much to talk about. And we'll probably revert back to older episodes.
Well, I actually want Queen Marjorie's mother to actually come and kill the High Sparrow.
Queen Marjorie's mother, the old lady,
yes.
That's
is
on
that
the
is that her
the
mother
council.
Or her father?
That's her. That's her father.
Sister.
No, that's her mom. I believe.
Okay, yeah, because Jamie wanted her to destroy the sparrows.
Yeah. Because there's like a 3 or 4 man like small council now or some shit that's basically Lannisters and
What are their last names?
Marjorie.
Yeah.
Tyrell.
House Tyrell.
Yeah, the Lannisters and Tyrells basically, and then I think Grand Meister Pycelle is on there as well, the old guy from Indiana Jones.
That
and
fucking
shit.
creep.
The bearded guy. Which like I always forget, but from time to time it'll occur to me. Like you always see him moving around so slowly and shit. You know what I mean? And crouched over and like just creeping out the room, so almost like he wants to hear every last little bit of shit on his way out. Well, you remember in the one episode where he was with a prostitute, and he gets up out of bed, no problem. He's walking around, he cracks his back and shit. Like he puts his fucking garments on, and then he immediately like stops himself, grabs his cane, and like hunches himself down, and then starts walking like that. You know what I mean? So he's just as fucking conniving and clever as everybody else. Like he puts on a front for that shit, and I often forget that. Like as he's moseying out the room, and they're all just like, "God damn it, this motherfucker's slow," and you can see it like in their body language and shit. And as soon as like he's out and the door closes and shit, they're like, "Okay," and then they start like talking shit.
Yeah.
And I always forget about that. So like keep that in mind when you're watching that motherfucker. That he's actually perfectly fine, quite sprightly, you know, and has a pep in his step and shit. He's just fucks hookers and prostitutes and shit, like.
So like every old man.
Pretty much, except for my old pappy.
No,
I don't have
every old man in existence is pretending.
Huh?
They're all pretending.
I guess not me, babe.
You're not.
I'm
an
all
old man.
yours. I'm not a man.
You're not an old man.
Oh, I'm not an old man, but I'm a pretty fucking woman.
Yes.
No,
No, we've established you are beyond pretty.
We've established this.
Incandescent.
Incandescent.
Or
I am like a light bulb,
resplendent.
ladies and gentlemen.
Resplendent.
Resplendent. Look it up if you don't know him.
That's how beautiful you are.
I think I'm falling
It's
in
glowing.
love with you, homie.
Oh, you are. You already fell in love with me.
Yep.
This is the gay cast.
This is Gaycast number 1.
There's a lot of sex and homosexual stuff going on in this episode.
A little bit. This is one's a little.
Yeah, we're trying to be
leaning
friendly
towards
to the
it.
LGBTs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna beat them all in with
Whatever
baseball
floats your
bats.
boat.
Yeah, whatever floats your boat, as long as you
Baseball
marry the opposite sex.
This is going in a weird direction.
Yeah, we got Kim Davis
You
over here.
should stop now.
Yes, let's stop it now. Okay.
Thank God for post production.
Yeah.
In post, I'm gonna download a program specifically to make me look normal in this episode. I'm just kidding.
You fucking cheat.
I'm just joshing. I don't even have those capabilities. I don't think.
Oh, we could also talk about Tusk since we were supposed to.
We were going to review Tusk, which has been out for quite some time.
Yes, but I finally saw it.
You finally
for the first
saw it.
time.
1.5 times.
Well, no, when I watched it
You
later,
started where you left off.
I started right where I left off.
I guess I'll start off just by asking I mean, maybe we should have a rating system.
I love that movie because it was very serious, but it didn't take itself seriously.
No,
And that's the greatest part about it is
that movie was all fun, and
it
you
was
could tell.
harrowing when he was screaming in that suit. It bothered me so much. I was like, man, that is fucking creepy. I can't handle this.
It was genuine enough to kind of buy it. Like,
Yeah.
kind of, it was kind of believable in a sense, but like the parts that were ridiculous, you knew the filmmaker knew that it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it was perfectly executed for what it was. They did it the way it should have been done.
when the reveal was that this is a spoiler. I don't give a shit.
Oh, it's been out for quite some time.
Yeah, but no, when they revealed that he was just angry at himself because he killed the one thing that was his friend and saved him an hour before he was rescued.
Yep, almost like he agonized and battled over making that decision, and he finally did it, and then it was God, like, dude, or whoever.
You could have waited an
I mean?
hour.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
no, that's
dude,
just how
if you
he
would have
felt.
just held out and kept your fucking integrity, it would have panned out in the
And
end.
he turned into a psychopath.
It's
because
kinda
of that.
like,
Sociopath.
I guess I never thought about this till now. Spoiler alert again, if you've never seen The Mist, that Stephen King book-based movie. Well, I actually really enjoy the movie because of this reason, and I'm going to go ahead and spoil it for you and anybody else who does,
Do it.
unless you protest.
Do it. No, spoil it.
Basically,
I like my reviews.
they're
like
hopeless
I like my
by the
milk
end.
Spoiled.
Oh, okay. Well, Thomas Jane is the main guy, and he has a son, and they're all trapped inside this grocery store because interdimensional monsters have come. It's actually, I really like the movie, especially because of the ending. Interdimensional monsters, there's been like an opening in between dimensions, and they've come over. And they're like attacking people, so all these people are hiding out in this grocery store because they were all there when it happened. And it's all happening inside this mist that magically appeared. And by the end of the movie, they're fucking hopeless, and it's down to Thomas Jane, his probably like 10 to 12-year-old son, and this old couple. They're all in a car. They were trying to make it. They're pretty much hopeless, and they hear all this commotion coming, and they're like, fuck, they're coming back. So they all decide to kill themselves. Thomas Jane being the last fucking one. Like, the kid, he has his son, his 12-year-old son. I think he might have killed him or something. But all three of them die except for Thomas Jane from suicide. And then all this commotion they're hearing is actually the fucking cavalry coming in.
Oh, shit.
Like, the military, they've eliminated the fucking threat and shit. And, like, they're basically saving them. And he's fucking, like, just like losing it. So it's kind of like that in the end. Like, that's basically what it was for Mr. Howe.
Mr. Howe.
And
Hungry Howe. Dude, then when he had the suit for himself.
Yeah.
And made him fight.
Almost like he's the first, like Justin Long's character was the first one to make it that far and go full walrus. You know what I mean? And he was like, yes, finally I can, like, almost like he was going to put up a good fight, but if he lost in the end, he wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
You know, not Justin Long, but Michael Parks' character. Howe.
Mr.
Howard Howe, I think was
Yeah.
his name. And, which I think is a little redundant, but, I mean, Kevin Smith is a comic book fan, and there's a lot of comic book characters that have names like that. Same letters, same kind of things, like John Johnson and shit like that. I'm like, isn't that his name? Martian Manhunter? I can't remember. Something like that.
You're
it's
the
very
comic book
redundant.
guy.
Anyway, I think it is John Johnson. Something like that. Who fucking knows?
Joan Jameson?
Johnston. Joan Janeston. Jane Janeston.
Janis Joplin. She's a superhero.
She is to me
She is to me too.
of alcohol.
But no, and then the end, when his girlfriend's still in love with him, and
But she was cheating on him that whole time because he's a total dick, and he was cheating on her the whole time. Spoiler alert.
well, yeah. But just when they had him live, he's living the rest of his life out
As a walrus, they bring him a fish and stuff like that's so ridiculous, but like
But he still
it
has
was
all
perfectly executed.
those like Circle K cups everywhere. Like they were still giving him those too.
Yeah, like he just like sips out of them on his like
he hasn't completely forgot who he was.
No, and they
'Cause
proved that. They proved that when he cried and like howled at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As he's slinking back into his cave.
And when she like yells at him, and she's like, "Fuck, I forget what his name was in the movie." And I've seen it so many times. I'm drawing a blank here. Justin Long's character, but she yelled, "Wallace!" She was like, "Wallace!" And he like stopped and looked at her because he was ignoring her.
That's just dawning on me. His name was Wallace. Wallace the Walrus.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's
Wallace.
similar sounding, sort of redundant type name. But have you probably never heard the podcast that this was all based on?
No, but you've told me about it.
It's pretty good, and they play it. You might have heard it. They play it over the ending credits.
Oh, I did
A
not.
portion of it. The whole thing's on the Blu-ray.
Okay.
The whole episode, but it's pretty great how they came along with it. And I recommend it. It's the titles of the. It's on Smodcast is the name of the podcast. The episode is entitled "The Walrus and the Carpenter." So
The
check it
Walrus and the Carpenter.
yeah, it's based on actual events, but not what happened in the movie.
Okay.
Like it's based on an internet like hoax that somebody put out there about needing somebody to rent out their house as long as they feed them. They agreed to put on a costume for a walrus costume for 2 hours a day and have them feed them fish for 2 hours a day. They would have
Feed the guests.
free. Yeah,
Oh,
the person who's renting
the-
out this house
had to pretend to be a walrus and eat a fish.
Yeah, basically, and
But you got it was 2
free
hours
rent.
a day.
2 hours a day, you had to be dressed as a walrus.
This couldn't have been real.
It turned out to be a hoax.
Okay.
Over in England, it was like a social experiment.
To
You know
see
what I
if
mean?
anybody would actually.
And there was actually a lot of people that did it because basically you were getting free rent to a mansion. They just lived in one room. They would have free reign to the rest of the house. You would barely ever see this guy. Basically, this room would just be like where he was when he was there.
Yeah.
And just for 2 hours a day, you had to do that. And that's this whole episode of this podcast. You were just hearing them talk about it. And by the middle of it, they're like, "This is a fucking movie, dude." And then like as they're going on, like they're just fleshing out how they would do it, how they could make the movie, all this crazy shit. And by the end of the episode, they're just like, #walrus yes if you want us to make this movie, #walrus no if you don't. And then like apparently so many people were like, make that fucking movie, and they did.
Was
And it turned into
Kickstarted or
no, he gets like independent funding from like people
Okay.
because his movies don't take much to make, but they always make money. Like they're not huge blockbusters, but they always make a profit. So people are willing to throw. He can make a movie for $5 million and make $30 million off the movie. You know what I mean? They're making bank off that.
Yeah, obviously.
$25 million. You know, I mean, a lot of that goes into the cost, but I mean, a lot of that cost was covered by the $5 million in the beginning. You know what I mean? That's why Kevin Smith has a fucking career, basically. That, and he's essentially a great writer in the end. It's just a lot of the movies he's been making lately he's pretty much just making for himself.
Yeah. Well, when you get to that point, you might as well.
Yeah, like, and I love him for people, and he makes them for people like me because there's not too many Kevin Smith movies I don't enjoy. Even the ones I didn't, I still kind of like. You know what I mean? Like, Jersey Girl wasn't really that bad of a movie. It just wasn't great.
That was the one where his wife frames him for murdering her.
No, that's Gone Girl.
Oh, okay.
That was David Fincher, the guy that made Fight Club. Close.
Gone Girl was a good movie though.
Jersey Girl was Ben Affleck and George Carlin. Ben Affleck had a daughter. George Carlin was the grandpa, and Jennifer Lopez dies, and it makes Ben Affleck like bitter, and it's like a heartwarming like tale. That's why people didn't like it, because it was like PG-13, and it was like different than there was no Jay.
Because
and
it was
Bob.
more like Chasing Amy.
Kinda, but like more lighthearted and not dirty. It was
Yeah.
basically about a guy becoming a better father.
Okay.
It was more of a heartfelt type deal.
I thought Clerks 2 was a heartfelt movie.
It was just terrible timing. Oh, it was. A lot of his movies are heartfelt in the end. Like a lot of his movies have heart. You know what I mean? Every one of his
They
movies
have
have heart.
soul.
But yeah, you know what I mean? Because even like Dogma, for example, you can tell that a lot of his like upbringing was in there. Like that's why that movie was. That's why that movie. You okay, Luca? That's why that movie was so good. Honestly, probably.
Cat,
gave a
you're a
shit.
nuisance.
But Tusk, I give 2 thumbs
Why?
up for originality.
That was on her own. Oh, 2 thumbs up?
2 thumbs up for everything.
I'll give him 4 more thumbs up.
Well, then I agree. I thought 2 thumbs was the max, so I just want to do the max because I love
Well,
Tusk.
no, like if you're drunk and you're watching this,
How are we failing to mention Johnny Depp? Did you not realize that was Johnny Depp?
I did not know that was
Guy
Johnny
Lapointe,
Depp.
the French-Canadian detective.
As soon as you said that, I knew exactly who you're talking about. But
Fucking
I
Johnny
did not
Depp.
know that was Johnny Depp.
That was
no.
Johnny Depp. Did you not love the Big Lebowski reference? When he's in the fucking convenience store and he's rubbing the pencil on the paper so you could see what the last person wrote. And Haley Joel Osment's like, oh shit, you just Lebowski'd that shit. And he was just like, it's funny. That's exactly where I learned it. And just the way he fucking delivered it was like perfect. It was so good.
One of the oddest parts was when they're eating at that restaurant. And he just starts smashing those hamburgers down before he eats them.
Yeah, like that's the way he eats them. He's just weird. That's a character actor for you, dude, right there.
That's awesome. I did not.
Maybe he does that in real life.
I can't believe I didn't realize that was Johnny Depp.
Mm-hmm. All the way, he's in the next 2 ones. He's in Yoga Hosers,
Okay.
playing the same guy, and I believe he's in Moose Jaws as well, playing the same guy. Which in Kevin Smith has announced this, so it's not really a spoiler. But in Moose Jaws, which, like I said, is I didn't say it now, but I've said it before. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's Jaws was the moose. It's a Canadian Jaws with a moose.
Okay.
Jay and Silent Bob are in it. Silent Bob dies.
Okay, yeah, I think you've told me.
Gets eaten by the moose.
Eaten by the fucking
Not only that,
moose.
Johnny Depp's character gets eaten by the moose as well.
Well, fuck that.
But it's the end of the trilogy, so it's not like you're going to see that character again. Really.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll pop up in like
Oh, so it's a
Clerks
whole
at the
trilogy?
store or something. But yeah, they're calling it the True North trilogy. It's a Canadian horror trilogy, horror
Oh,
comedy.
Yoga Hosers is a
Is
horror
this-
comedy?
It's the second installment. Yeah, it's kind of like it's centered more for like teen girls, but adults can enjoy it as well. It's kind of like a Bill and Ted with girls meets like a Evil Dead-esque type monster fighter type thing. But it's very teenage girls. It has like kind of a Scott
So
Pilgrim
it's right
type
up my
feel.
alley.
Honestly, I know you're joking, but it might be. Like if you like Scott Pilgrim, there's parts where like
Well, I've been seeing
very
he's been
animated
sharing,
and comes
like,
up
little
and shit.
clips on his Instagram.
There's actually a trailer was leaked, a Japanese trailer or whatever, which he said that trailer's not as good as the one they were actually going to release a few weeks from now, but we can watch it real quick if you want me to find it. Or we don't have to.
I'm not that worried about it right
All
now.
right. Okay. But it looks good. Kevin Smith is actually in it, plays one of the monsters.
He plays one of the monsters.
Yeah, like he shaved off his beard for a while. I don't know, like last year. I don't know if you heard about that.
No, I did not.
He did it specifically for that, so he can do the motion capture. and
Big
shit.
deal. I shave off my beard every once in a while too.
That's true, but I don't think he's ever shaved his beard off. Not in like the last like 15 years, probably.
What's he hiding under there?
Apparently a face.
He's hiding something.
He did look different though without a beard. It was shocking, honestly. Anyway, Tusk is a good movie. 4 thumbs up from Brett. 4 from me as well.
Total of 8 combined thumbs up,
Yep,
plus however many thumbs up you want to give it.
exactly.
And then
I guess we'll just take a
then
poll of thumbs.
We'll seal all the thumbs in a package and mail it to the desert, and Kevin Smith will open it there. I'm gonna ask you a brain teaser first.
No, go for it. Nope, consume the time. Brain teaser. Is this the first
This is the first in our series of,
smoking word?
I don't know.
Is this like a kind of existential,
No.
philosophical thing?
No.
All right, so just a brain
This is a
teaser.
lateral thinking problem.
Okay, all right. Hit me with
Okay.
hit me. I'll see what I can do
A
with it.
man's sleeping in his hotel room.
All right.
He's awakened by a knock at the door. He opens the door. The guy that knocked says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was my room," and then walks away. The guy immediately shuts the door, locks it, and calls security. Why?
Because if it was his fucking room, why was he knocking?
Okay. Yeah, that one's too easy. Like, I don't know.
That's
how.
the first thing I thought. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was my room."
Okay, that's a warm up one then. I got another one for you.
Yeah.
A train travels 50 feet, pauses, departs and travels another 50 feet, and is never used again. You're not going to get this one.
Okay.
No, you will. I don't know if you.
A train. Say it again.
A train travels 50 feet, pauses, departs, and travels another 50 feet, and is never used again.
Why?
Yeah, why? You can join in on this if you want.
A train travels 50 feet, parks,
Pauses.
and departs, and travels 50 feet again,
And is never
and
used
then
again.
is never used again. Because the train crashed?
No. If you want to ask any yes or no questions,
All right, no,
I'll give you
I'll
some
try to get
hints
to the
that
bottom
way.
of this.
yeah, let's go.
Because it's broken and it is only traveling 50 feet and then stopping.
Nope.
All right, the train travels 50 feet, pauses,
Travels 50 feet.
pauses, departs, travels 50 feet, and then never used again.
This is
I don't even know how to ask a question about this because this doesn't make it like I can't think of any possible reason to fucking do that other than like it's broken or it exploded and fucking the train was never used again because it was destroyed.
I'll give you one hint.
Okay.
You're thinking of the wrong kind of train.
A train travels 50 feet, pauses, departs, travels 50 feet, and is never used again.
Okay. Let's
So
see.
now she decides to chime in when she's not
She
giving
probably
me
knows
any
it.
help this whole time.
Is it a wedding train?
Yeah.
A wedding train.
Yeah. It's the piece of cloth that hangs from the wedding dress and drags on the floor.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
probably would have helped if I knew that. I just
That's
thought
why
that
I
was
said you were thinking the wrong kind of train.
right. When you said that, I was like, is this like a sex thing? They're running a train on, but they're moving, like they're literally running a train.
A marathon train.
Shit. All right. Got another one for me? Shit.
I'm trying to think.
You might have heard this one.
Okay.
Before. Oh, no, go for it.
A man lives on the top floor of a very tall building. Every morning he takes the elevator down to go to work, and then when he comes home, he takes the elevator halfway up, gets off, and takes the stairs the rest of the way, unless it's raining.
Why?
Yeah.
All right. He's
on the top floor of a very tall building. That's
top
where he
floor,
lives.
very tall building.
Every morning for work, he gets on the elevator, rides all the way down,
Okay.
goes to work, and when he comes home, he rides halfway up, gets off,
And then
takes
takes
the
the
stairs
steps
the rest
of the way because
it's raining.
unless it's raining.
I thought you've heard this one before.
I
I've
haven't.
heard this one several times.
He lives on the top floor.
Yes, the tippity top. And he can travel down to the bottom floor every morning, but he only goes halfway up.
So it's
every
not
night.
it's not like the elevator only goes halfway up the building
No.
or something.
There's nothing wrong with the
Is
elevator.
he like a health nut? Does he just want to go up the steps?
No.
Do the-
Because
is
if
it because the
if it was
steps-
raining, why would he take the steps? If he was into health, why would the rain matter?
Does it flood
No.
when it rains halfway up the
No.
building?
No.
That's a lot of rain. You'd think
That is
they
a
would
lot of
you think
rain.
they would just move.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
probably live in Louisiana or something.
Or like Venice. Does he live in Venice? Is that what it is?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Because I was like, oh, maybe it's in Venice. And that's why he does it. Are the stairs like kind of outdoor?
Nope.
Does it like leak?
Nope.
Does the rain really factor into why?
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
The rain has a big part of it.
Does he just enjoy the rain?
No.
Is he like Clint Black and he never liked the rain until he walked through it with you?
No.
Okay.
Do you know it yet? Are you even trying to figure this one out? I thought you were.
She's looking
it
them up on the internet right now. That's what she's doing. Okay.
You got it? You give up yet?
Let me give it another quick thought. Why? So basically, the
What do you
question
need
is
when it's raining out?
an umbrella.
You're almost there.
The elevator's open. The shaft is open
Nope.
up top.
Nope.
Unless it's raining. So he needs the So he needs the umbrella when he's in the elevator.
Yes.
When it's not raining.
When it's he can take the elevator all the way up when it's raining.
But he can't take the elevator all the way up when it's not raining.
Yeah.
I feel like I could figure this out, but my brain just doesn't want to.
Oh, you're on the cusp.
Okay. He needs the umbrella in the elevator.
Yes.
Does it have something to do with blood?
No.
All right,
It's
then
nothing violent or gory.
I don't know.
He's a midget. He can't reach the top button without the umbrella.
Unless it's raining.
Yeah. Because if it
So-
wasn't raining, you wouldn't have the umbrella with you.
Gotcha. All right. Gotcha. He can only reach halfway up because the buttons
Yeah.
go all the way up.
Yeah.
With the That's just poor design work. Whoever designed that elevator, man, like you need to
Yeah.
consider short
Yeah,
people.
you're inconsiderate to the handicapped,
Like
to the vertically challenged.
I feel like Randy Newman designed those. Because he thinks short people got no reason to live, so he's like, fuck short people.
What a fucking asshole, man.
No, that's just the name of the song. I didn't listen to the lyrics close enough to know if that was actually his
No,
opinion.
I think that's what he screams at the end of it. He screams, "Fuck short people."
Well, I guess now that we've
You've got. Do you have one? I thought
I did have one, but you may have already heard it. This is a pretty commonly told one. I think
Okay.
I have two of them.
Okay.
But like I
Stump
said,
my
one
mind,
at
Marcus.
least at the very least one of them you've already heard before.
Okay.
First, I'll do the one I think you've probably already heard before, because I think I might have heard you say this to somebody around the shop. But a guy rides into town on Friday,
Okay.
stays 3 days, then leaves on Friday. How does he do it?
His horse's name is Friday.
There you go. So you've heard this one before, I'm assuming, or that one's just that easy.
I
'Cause
think.
a lot of people
I
are
think
stumping
actually
that one.
you asked me that one before.
Like I said, probably. These ones are two very common ones that I've heard many a times. This next one is one that you may not have heard. That last one was one I'm pretty sure you heard, which seemed like you did. If you live across the street from a cemetery,
Okay.
you are legally not allowed to be buried in that cemetery. Why? Cool.
Is there a religious reason?
No.
Are you serious?
I feel this is a very. I thought
You live across the street from the cemetery.
if you live across the street from a cemetery, you are legally not allowed to be buried in that cemetery.
because you're alive.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
I wasn't even paying attention when I got that.
All right. I guess with that.
I'll ask one more. No, I got one
All right,
more.
all right, we got one
Since
more.
you slightly stumped me, you probably heard this one.
Okay.
There's a pond, and the lily pads grow on it, like they're wont to do. Every day, the amount of lily pads grows. It doubles. It takes 14 days for it to fill half the pond.
Okay.
How many days for it to fill the entire pond?
So every day
It doubles.
it doubles. How many are there originally, did you say?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, so
It takes 14 days for it to fill half the pond.
it takes 14 days for it to fill. Okay.
So how many days does it take to fill the whole pond?
So every day more appear in the pond. It takes 14
Yeah,
days
twice
for
a
the
month.
pond to be completely covered
To be
in
half
lily pads,
covered.
half covered in lily pads. It takes 14 days for it to cover half of it. So how many days does it take to cover the other half, or it completely?
Yeah.
I have a guess. But you go first, because I have a feeling I'll be right and you'll be wrong.
I feel like I didn't even have time to think about it. I was just trying to flesh it all out. I mean, you're already going to say something that's going to skew whatever perspective I was brewing there at that time. So the obvious answer would be 14 times 2. Because if it takes 14 days to fill up half of the pond, why wouldn't it take 14 days to fill up the other half, I would think. But of course, that's not the answer.
No.
So 14 and 14, that would be what, 28? 28 is the obvious answer, which is not the answer, so I'm going to just rule that out already. I'm assuming that wasn't your answer.
No.
The question is, how many days does it take to
fill the entire pond.
the entire pond, or just the surface?
Well, the surface. Like,
So, like-
covering it.
Okay.
That's
So the
lily
water is
pads-
still just water
lily
with
pads
fish.
I don't think sink down in.
Yeah, but I mean, if you stacked them on top of each other, they'd
Yeah,
eventually
yeah.
sink, and they, you know what I
But
mean?
no, it's just the lily pads growing across the top of the pond. 14 days to cover half of it. How many days to cover the full thing?
I guess my next thought is, do I have to have knowledge of lily pads?
No.
Can they only
Oh my god.
procreate so many times? Okay, go ahead and say your answer so we can just cut my idiocy short.
No,
No, you
you're
guess
thinking too hard.
you are a little bit too much. You're focusing on the wrong things. It doubles in size every day.
Oh,
So 15 days.
Yeah, it'd be 15 days to cover the whole pond.
you're absolutely right. Okay, no.
You're
Right.
like deconstructing a lily pad.
Yeah, he's like, wait a
and
minute.
taking the volume
No,
of the water.
Frogs sometimes are seen on lily pads. Does Kermit the Frog have anything to do with this?
All right. Okay. You're right. Fuck me. See, no, because it was just a matter of me completely overlooking the doubles.
Yeah,
Every
you were
day.
just focusing on the wrong numbers.
Yeah, I was focusing on the wrong part of the question. All right. You got me.
Okay, this one's more of a joke. Why couldn't Miss Piggy answer the phone?
Because he's a puppet.
She had a frog in her throat.
Whoa, there's a sound effect for you.
Okay, yeah, I'm done.
All
Unless
right.
you have another one. Do you have one?
Would you
No,
like to
did you look
contribute?
one up?
I have nothing.
God damn it.
All right.
Is this the end of the Mark and Address podcast?
I thought of another one, but I don't remember exactly how to state it, so I don't want to fuck it up.
I can remember another one.
Okay, go for it.
There's a yacht on the middle of the ocean. And surrounded by it are corpses. What happened?
There's a yacht in the middle of the
And
ocean,
it's surrounded by corpses.
surrounded by corpses. What happened? See, now this is a very open-ended question. It could be anything.
Yeah.
So there is one.
But you got to
thing.
but the one thing about lateral thinking problems is that you always have to keep in mind is it's never the obvious answer.
Oh no, I know that. But
So
a
it's,
situation like
it wasn't
that,
weather.
it could be absolutely anything. It really, if you really think about it, anything could have happened there.
Well, they were partying. I'll give you that much.
All right, they were partying. It's a yacht. There's bodies all over the place outside of it. Are there living people
they're in
still
the
on
water.
the yacht?
No, all the people are in the water.
So it's basically like you're just finding the shit
Yeah,
out
like
of
if you were-
nowhere,
if
and
you were
there's just
flying a
bodies all over the
helicopter.
water, and it appears that everyone that was on board somehow died and is now in the ocean.
Yes.
All right,
They were partying. It was a big party.
big party. I have no idea.
They were all partying, and they decided, let's go for a swim, and forgot to set a ladder back up, so they couldn't get back on the yacht.
So they're all drunk and tired and fucked
Yeah,
up.
drown.
All right, okay.
That one's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, because it could still have been anything, in my opinion.
Could have been a blue whale.
Maybe it was a cult and it was a mass suicide. They believed in like some
They all drank the Kool-Aid made with salt water.
ocean god. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Salt water.
USOs, you know what I mean.
Kool-Aid. Usos.
Underwater submerged. It's like UFOs in the water.
Okay.
You know what I mean. Never heard of a
So the
underwater
so mermaids are
unidentified
real.
submerged object. There you go. I think is what it stands for. It's like a new phenomenon when they see lights and ships and shit go into the oceans, as if they have like
It's a
like
real fucking thing.
shit.
I think
Yeah.
you're making this up.
No, this is a real thing that people talk about. There's like government agents that have confirmed their
I
existence.
think our
and
next
shit like that.
podcast should be about conspiracy theories,
I'm totally down with that. That's actually one of the topics I wrote down because
Let's do
I'm
it.
into a lot of that stuff. I don't know if you are.
because
I find it interesting. I don't believe everything.
I feel
fucking
like
read.
we have conflicting views on it, and that would be a very interesting.
That's
podcast.
exactly what I said. It's like I feel like me and my brother kind of think too similarly about it, so it's kind of just us feeding each other
Yeah.
shit. But we would actually have a pretty good, like, healthy debate about it. You know what I mean? Well, I guess
But
that's
that's
something
just
to
an
look forward
idea.
to. Shit.
Yeah, you don't even have to put that in the final video.
No, we can totally do that. Like I said,
Maybe we should do that.
Post-production
We
is
should try
amazing.
to set up each episode at the end of every episode.
I just feel like we shouldn't make it so like.
Well, I mean, like the general topic, like because we always do the movies and TV.
No. I mean, you're absolutely right. We can do that. It's only helpful to us because then we can just be like, all right, well, then we can think on it for a week. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, we could obviously the conspiracy theories that you are most interested in. I could research. I don't know much about most of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like.
Or I could, or actually, we no, never mind. We'll go into it blind. You'll tell me the conspiracy, and then we'll just hash it out.
Yeah.
That's how we'll do it.
A lot of the ones I actually think are plausible are things that are more believable to me.
Okay.
But like, I mean, I have knowledge of other ones. I just don't know everything about it. And,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, there are a few that I'm just like, that makes total sense. You know. And I wouldn't say I believe it. I'm just saying that's totally plausible and it's totally a possibility.
Exactly.
But I'll just go ahead and like 9/11, for instance, is one that I'm totally like, that's totally possible. Like, I'm not saying I believe it or not, but like more of me believes it than doesn't.
Yeah.
But I guess that, again, that's something to look forward to.
It's for Western Jesus number
4.
Oh,
that will
okay,
be
4.
number 5. This is number 4.
This is number 4.
But yeah, that'll be, I guess we'll be about, we'll at least talk for a good moment about conspiracy theory.
Oh no, man! Like I'm hoping we go at least an hour.
No, we can, dude, we can do
yeah,
that.
dude. I want to dissect these motherfuckers.
Yeah, and like I'm sure we'll talk about Game of Thrones and shit too, but we can always just make those their own separate little things as long as we stick on topic.
Yeah.
Because that's really fucking hard to make a single video when you talk about Game of Thrones for 2 minutes in the beginning, and then 10 minutes you talk about Star Wars. Just dick around and joke about Star Wars, and then you talk for 5 minutes about Game of Thrones. Like, that's hard to put into one video, and it still be.
But
consistent.
the more challenging we make these, the better of an editor you become, Mark.
I suppose.
We're just honing your skills.
But it's also the shittier quality of work we put out too.
That's true. We'll figure something out.
I think most of the quality of most video productions is because of things people thought of beforehand and kept in mind while doing things.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Not so much like post-production. Like,
Pre-production is just as important.
doing it right the first time is more important than getting
we
it
do
right
it right
the
every
second
time.
Yeah, I'm not really at all. But
Yeah.
over time, we're getting it right the first time more often. Now that you know our trade secrets, look forward to the behind the scenes video of all this bullshit I had to go through last week.
Oh, so much bullshit.
It was
I'm a
kind of
pretty-
fun, except
I'm a
for the
pretty
whole
girl.
except for the whole eye thing. That shit freaked me out a little bit. There was wetness involved and things going into my eye. It was uncomfortable, but it was
Nothing went into your eye.
things going into my eye area
Areolas, his eye areolas.
and affect. It's bothersome. It's uncomfortable.
Now he knows what women go through every
I
day.
do. I don't know how you do it every morning. I don't.
I do it for you, babe.
Thanks. I appreciate it a little more now. All right. That was episode number 4. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of this, or else I don't know what the fuck I'm doing this for.
Practice.
I guess for our future matrimony.
We'll go to prom first and see how it goes.
I never went to prom, so
Yeah, I know.
you can be my prom date.
Yeah.
You should feel special.
And then I'll date rape you.
It wouldn't be rape. You can't rape the willing, sir.
I'll push the envelope.
I think now you're just saying things.
I'm gonna put a stop to this right now, cause Brett's creeping up on my Kool-Aid here.
And with that said, this is episode number 4. I am the Western Jesus himself.
I am Brent Shepard, or Brett Sherrard. I go by several aliases.
Nobody really knows who he is, honestly.
His
But-
name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson. Till next time.
Why don't you come like a good boy, spit in your hair and make me come like a good boy. You freaked out when I found a tissue. You masturbated into. I took comfort in knowing I wasn't the only thing you came into. Crumpled up and threw in the trash. The trash, 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 the trash.